Hello and happy end of the school year. I know some schools have already wrapped up for the year and others are getting ready to do so in the next week or two. My own personal kids are done this week on Friday and they are super excited because we leave for Disney World on Sunday. So we have a busy couple of weeks coming up. Today, I just want to take a few minutes and talk about the end of the year and reflection, because when we get to the end of the year, this is the perfect time to stop and think back on the past 9 months. What were some things that worked really well in your classroom that you want to continue doing next year? And then on the flip side, what were some things that maybe you want to improve next year, or maybe even add new things into your schedule? And one thing that I've been hearing teachers talking about is SEL, social emotional learning. That students aren't coming in with the skills that they need to be able to manage their feelings, to be able to get along with peers. So I know a lot of teachers want to add that into their lessons for next school year. And sometimes that's difficult. If you don't have room in your schedule for SEL, it can be difficult to find time for it. So I want to share a resource with you today that can really help you add SEL into your lessons. And you can do it in small chunks so that even if you don't have a lot of time in your schedule, you'll still be able to find ways to help your students deal with those big feelings. So the resource that I want to share with you is called Skills for Big Feelings, and it's a guide to teaching kids relaxation, regulation, and coping techniques. So when you have those students who have those strong feelings, the anxiety, the overwhelm, have just being able to give them strategies to deal with those is huge, and it's going to make the rest of your lessons, the rest of your school year run so much smoother when your students have those strategies. So this book was written by Casey O'Brien Martin, and she broke it down into 12 different sessions. Each session is going to help your students learn some coping skills to deal with their feelings. Some of the sessions include naming our feelings, being able to know what you're feeling and then how to deal with it, triggers that make us feel certain ways, helpful and unhelpful thoughts, changing thoughts, measuring challenges, all the different things that your students deal with as they go through the day and need to be able to manage themselves so that they're not interrupting your lessons, so that things are able to run more smoothly. And one of my absolute favorite things about this book is that it gives your students lots of different mindful moments. These are different ways that when they're starting to feel stressed, when they're starting to feel that anxiety, that they can do these things to calm themselves down and to do some self-regulation. And they're built into every one of the sessions. And by the end of it, your students are going to have lots of different strategies to deal with those strong feelings. So we were talking about not having a lot of time for SEL in your schedule. So what you can do is each session can be broken down into smaller segments so that if you only have 10 to 15 minutes a day, you can do just a small chunk of the session each day to be able to get it done in the week. Or if you do have one day a week where you have a longer period of time, you could cover a session in that time. So there's lots of different ways that you can add the sessions into your schedule, even if you don't have tons of time for SEL. And also, Casey has lots of resources online that you can get an extra bundle that's going to give you slideshows with the lessons that are going to walk you exactly step by step through how to do it with your students. Because I know some teachers feel anxiety about adding SEL because they're not exactly sure where to start, what they should even teach their students, and it is all outlined for you in Skills for Big Feelings. And those slideshows walk you step by step through exactly what to do with your students so that there's no extra planning on your part. It tells you exactly what to say, what to do, so that you are doing it in an effective way. The extra resources also have games that you can play with your students to practice these skills. There's extra books that you can read that tell them about different social emotional skills. And it's just a great way to add it if you don't already have a curriculum for SEL in your school. Another great feature of this book is that in the back, there is actually a workbook that you can give your students so that they are working through the lessons with you and they know exactly what to do for that day. And those mindful moments are also built in: the flying bird, smell the flower, frog mouth. Those are just a few of those strategies that are going to help your students deal with those big feelings. So the workbook is a great way also to go through the lessons with your students, give them some resources that are going to help them deal with those big feelings. There are also parent resources built into the book, letters that you can send home with each session so that your students can continue practicing the strategies at home too. So if you sit down and reflect on this school year and realize that, maybe your students do need some more social emotional learning, this book is going to be a great resource to help you add it into your schedule next school year to really help your students develop those skills that they need. So if you are interested in getting the Skills for Big Feelings book, my affiliate link is in the description. Make sure you click through, check it out. I hope that you have a wonderful, restful summer break.